Marc, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you got the idea for this app.
The idea comes as a result of having worked in the Child Protection Unit for many years, and one of the very real things that happens as a part of an investigation of child abuse is that one needs to get a statement from the first report to the person to whom the child tells the statement for the first time. And very often what happens is when the child tells the statement or tells what's happened to them, the disclosure to an adult is only made years later. And so we needed to find a way of how do we get that information once the first report is made out sooner so that we can safeguard the child quicker. And so that's really where the birth of it came from.
Now, your experience as a former Child Protection Unit police officer must have been quite telling in this, and that code of silence that we speak about must be a major challenge for the work that you did in the Protection Unit and that police members in that unit still does today.
Absolutely. It is a very real challenge. I mean, even when we look at statistics that are coming out recently, and I saw some of the proponents that work in this field after the interviews with this Parktown thing, and they're talking about statistics as high as 1 in 3 of child abuse in this country. And we know that there's nowhere near that amount of cases being reported to the SAPS. So there's very many, if not millions, of people that are growing up that have never ever reported that. And so as a result of that, we know that there are children that are suffering at this and not having a vehicle or a voice to report it. And that's really what the app's there to do, to give them the ability to report.
Now, you're also a father of a teenage son, I've read in reports around this app. As a father, do you believe that this app will make a major difference?
You know, I think his inputs, and watching him, like, initially, definitely it was the idea, it was kind of where it came from. It was sitting watching and kind of going, okay, I've got a teenager and all teenagers are stuck to their phones the whole time. So it served as a really awesome vehicle to kind of go, teenagers are in contact with the phone. They're able to report all the time. But then having seen the statistics that have come out after we've rolled this out in the schools that we have rolled it out in, the statistics are verifying 100% what we believe would happen. Learners are seeing absolute value in this. The reports that are coming through thick and fast. We're getting some very serious things. And some of the stuff is rolling through to a point where it's able to be used forensically. So not only are we safeguarding kids, but we're also finding ourselves in a position where information can start moving forward to investigation and have perpetrators arrested.
Tell us more about the back end of this app. So you've got a child who is being bullied, let's say, for instance, and they go onto the app, and obviously you have to have this relationship of trust, that they feel that they can trust that they're putting this information into this app on their phone, and that information is not going to be abused, they're not going to be victimized. Where does that information go to, and what happens from there?
Okay, so what happens is there's an initial registration process. So the learner would go onto the Play Store or the iStore, download the app. When they go through the registration process, there is a request for them to add their school to which they attend onto the registration. Once that's done, it then takes them through to a place where they're able to report. There is a huge list of transgressions, everything from bullying to sexual assault, inappropriate behavior by a teacher, drugs, alcohol, fighting, etc., etc., etc. They choose what they're wanting to report on. Once they've written the information in terms of what they would want the educator or school to know, they can attach evidence to that report. So it could be in the form of a video, it could be in the form of a picture, it could be in the form of a document. They attach it to the report, they send the report. The report goes through our servers. All the information pertaining to who the identity of the reporter is removed, and that report is then sent directly through to the school. We don't engage with that report. It goes directly through to the school. The school receive that information and are able to use that information to further investigate what has happened. If the educator or the person responsible for receiving the report at the school, if they feel that they need more information from the learner or from the reporter, they can go back to the reporter and request further information. But at no time would the identity of the reporter be known.